It's Wednesday, August 30th, 2023. I hope everybody's having a great day. Please make sure to like this video, share this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, support the message. We must continue to wake people up, even if it's 1 out of a million. I will say that we're living in a time where I've seen more people wake up than any other time in my life. And yet most people are asleep, most people are zombies, there's no doubt about that. But we are seeing people actually begin to wake up, they're asking questions, they're beginning to realize that this economy is collapsing. They're beginning to realize that they've been fooled, they've been bamboozled, and they're beginning to realize they're in big trouble. And the more people who wake up, the more people who are getting self-sufficient, the more people who are warning other people of this economic tsunami that is approaching, the better off we are going to be as a country. Now, I apologize if you hear any snoring. Nugget is napping, Mimi is napping, and by the way, people have been asking about Mimi. She's doing fantastic. Really happy that she's doing so well. She's put on a little weight, and she's really happy, and we're happy that she's happy. But getting back to the U.S. economy, just watching some of these videos that are circulating where people are now lashing out and wondering why they're not getting any help. The people in Hawaii who are getting no help, yet the people overseas that we're sending billions of dollars to are getting help and never going to repay this money. It's absolutely repulsive to see how the U.S. citizen is being treated at this point. And you know what I find amazing, and maybe I'm reading too deep into this, is now we had a major tropical storm right here in my area. Now the hurricane in Florida, the massive fire in Hawaii, and it just seems like every week now a natural disaster is taking place in America. Now, is there something more to the story? I don't know. But there are so many people out there asking questions about why we're seeing so many fires and so many hurricanes. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it's all manipulated, that it's man-made, that it's natural. You decide. But one thing is sure, things are happening now unlike any other time in our lifetime, and you need to be prepared the best you can be. Doing nothing, not preparing is going to guarantee failure, guarantee that you lose. Things are happening. Every time I see one of these massive storms, it just reinforces with me that I've got to continue preparing, and that I'm doing the right thing by preparing over the years. Look, if you had to get up and go right now, do you have the bags packed? Do you have the supplies, the food, the water, the jet oils, a solar generator, matches, propane canisters, security? Do you have the things that you could pack up in your car and leave for a few days? And do you have a destination to go to? Now, real quick, look who just popped up. Memers. We call her Memers. It's Mimi. And you saw when we got Mimi a few months ago, a little rescue. She's doing fantastic. Isn't she getting bigger, putting on a little weight now? She's so happy. Her and Nugget are best of friends. Such a great little dog. We love her. Anyways, make sure you have food put away for your pets too. Your cats, your dogs, whatever you have, reptiles. Make sure that you have food put away for them. But think about if you had to jump in the truck or in the car and you had to get away for 2 or 3 days, a week, 2 weeks. Do you have the bags packed? Do you have the gear necessary to survive? Do you have a place to go to? These are all things we have to be thinking about ourselves. And if you were forced to hunker down and stay where you were at, do you have the necessary preparations to make it a week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks? These are the things we've got to start asking ourselves and taking action and preparing. Right now it is all about educating ourselves. It's about self-reliancy. It's about the right network of friends. Be really picky now. Have standards with the people who are in your circle, the people you surround yourself with. Are people bringing any type of skills into your circle, or are they just going to drain your assets and your skills? Make sure that people in your circle have something to offer. Everybody should have skills. Everybody should be bringing something to the table. Don't bring dead weight to the table. Don't bring wannabes and people who just talk. When you bring those people, you're going to find out very, very fast that they have no skills, no preparations, nothing to offer you or your friends, and they're going to be dead weight. They're going to be the ones eating your food, eating your calories, and putting you at risk. U.S. pending home sales rise at fastest pace in 7 months. This on Fox Business Today. Doesn't that sound like great news? It sounds like things are getting better. The markets are back up. Everything's doing great. But remember, these are homes under contract. These are not homes that have sold, ladies and gentlemen. There's a difference. These homes are under contract, and anybody can write an offer. The question is now, these homes that are under contract, will they close? Will the buyers actually qualify and be able to close these contracts? More than likely, many of these will not, and we will see next month a revision in these July numbers, much lower than this fastest pace in 7 months. These numbers will be revised down as many of these buyers do not qualify. Another thing I have to ask all of you is, when we look at these numbers like on Fox Business Today, do you even believe these numbers? Are these numbers just being puffed up? Are these numbers just being puffed up to keep the casino going? Are these numbers real? Are these numbers manipulated? Are they puffed up? I don't know what to believe anymore. Honestly, I don't know anybody who would buy a house right now, and there are people buying houses. That's for real. There's no doubt about it. I don't know anybody personally that would go out and buy a house today, personally. Now, I know other people that have, but nobody that I'm very, very close to. Who in the world, comment down below, would you buy a house in this housing bubble? How many people out there believe that this is a housing bubble now? I don't know how much more obvious it is. I'm on Zillow 1, 2, maybe 3 times a day looking at properties, mainly out of state. And I will tell you this, what's happening out of state in the Deep South. Listings are popping up every day, price reductions every day. Problem is, with the price reductions, is so many of these homes started out so high in the listing price, and then they'll reduce $25,000, $40,000, $50,000, and they're still completely overpriced. And what I'm finding is, when I look at a property that's for sale today, say it's $500,000, I'll look at the history of this property, and in 2019, 2020, this home that is listed for $500,000 today sold back in 2019 or 2020 for $225,000. And this is in the southern part of the United States. Give me a break. I'm sorry. I would love to move tomorrow, but there is no way I'm paying $500,000 for a home that just sold for $225,000 in 2020. Sorry, I just cannot do that. Things are going to go back to reality because these properties are never going to sell now. The pool of qualified buyers continues to shrink daily. People are losing their jobs. Mortgage rates, 30-year mortgage today is, I think it was around 7.58%, pretty close to that. For a 30-year, most people are not going to be able to do that. And many people are waking up to the fact that if they wait long enough, they're going to get a much, much better price on the house. Now, me personally, I'd rather pay a little higher interest and get the price of the property at a much lower price. Because somewhere down the road, maybe it's 3 years, 5 years, whatever, we can always refinance the house. But I'd rather owe $225,000 on a property and pay 7% versus owe $500,000 on a house and pay 4 or 5%. Me personally. So that's how I look at it. Me personally, I'd rather see the house, purchase the house at $225,000 and pay 7% versus $500,000 at 3 or 4%. Because I know at some point down the road I'll be able to refi the house or just pay the house off cash. But yeah, these prices are absolutely crazy. And honestly, I'd rather pay $225,000 at 7% than $500,000 at 7 or 8%. So we're going to see a lot of things happening, but would you buy a home right now in this environment? Would you buy a home with this much uncertainty across the globe, the uncertainty politically right here in America, financially and economically right here in America, socially right here in America, with all these uncertainties? Would you actually buy in this housing bubble? And do you believe we're in a housing bubble? There's people out there that will probably disagree and say that I'm wrong. We're not in a housing bubble. These prices are normal and they're going to continue to go up. I disagree. I see prices coming down. The only thing that's going to go up are mortgage rates and interest rates, but I could be wrong. Let me know. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Comment down below. Here's one on the hedge today. Airbnb bubble bursts. Investor home purchases crashed 45% in biggest drop since 2008. The Airbnb bubble is beginning to burst, ladies and gentlemen, and this is going to lead to the popping of the housing bubble. Yes, it is going to pop, ladies and gentlemen, and I feel sorry for people who bought a house in the last year or two, because I personally think you are gonna lose it. But we're gonna see how it all plays out. Redfin today said investor home purchases fell 45% from a year ago in the second quarter, outpacing the 31% drop in overall home sales. That's the biggest drop since 2008. Think about this, 31% drop in overall home sales. That is called a housing collapse, ladies and gentlemen. There's no other way to put it than a housing collapse. The buying frenzy of 2021 and 2022 is over. It is officially over. A lot of people who got into this hotel business, the Airbnbs and the VRBOs, they're about to witness a massive downturn. And these people are they're gonna lose houses, or they're gonna be rushing to the exits to sell these houses at a discount, without a doubt. Even the hedge funds now are not in this market buying homes. And the home flippers are in big trouble. I see many homes on Zillow flips that have been sitting for 60, 90, 120 days, 250 days. They're sitting. These home flippers are stuck. They're going to have to discount these homes just like the home builders are doing now, or they're just not going to sell. Many of them are going to go back to the bank. And this is going to start playing out, I believe, by the end of this year. It's starting right now. It's going to continue to erupt to the end of this year. And next year in 2024, I think you're going to see sales that you cannot even believe. Another article that I found very fascinating today from the New York Post: company selling tiny homes from $130,000 sparks critics. This is the new affordable housing. Lennar, based in Fontainebleau, Florida, you know Lennar, one of the nation's biggest home builders, is now constructing a tiny house community comprised of 350 square foot homes in San Antonio, Texas, called Elms Trail. Now, I've seen some video on this, and there's some pictures in the article if you go to New York Post. 350 square foot. They are 2 stories, no garage, selling for $130,000. The lot is probably 800 square feet, I'm guessing. And this is what they're getting you used to now, $130,000. So you can now buy a jail cell for $130,000. Again, it's staggering to see what people are paying for a home today. And when I see something like this, 350 square feet, people now buying this, Lennar building this, they're conditioning you now to drive a little tiny car with a battery, to live in a little tiny house and eat a little bit of tiny food. Things are going to have to change. That's why we need the bubbles to collapse, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to hurt corporate America. It's going to hurt the 1%. It's going to hurt the banks. It's going to hurt a lot of people. But we need things to collapse so that we get true valuations back, so that the middle class and poor people, again, can be able to afford to live, so they can afford to buy something without a collapse. The people at the very, very top are going to keep strangling the people down below. We have turned away inventory. U.S. EV market struggles as cars pile up on dealer lots. It's on the hedge today. EVs are stacking up on the car lots as demand cools, ladies and gentlemen. Dealerships are turning away EV inventory. They don't want them. They don't have anywhere to put them. They can't sell them. There are 92,000 EVs now sitting on car lots. That's more than 3 times the number compared to a year ago. And I don't know about you. I think the cars are ugly. When it's 100, today was about 115. Yesterday it was 120 degrees. Your battery on an EV is drained, I think, about 30% when you're dealing with this kind of heat. People have anxiety driving these cars because they don't know really how far they're going to be able to go and where they're going to be able to charge them. So they have range anxiety, 20 to 30 plus minutes to charge these vehicles. And again, the cost to buy these vehicles, service these vehicles, people, they don't understand. It's like, there's not a Tesla dealership, in every little town in America. You have a problem, you get into an accident, you can't just take it to your regular body shop to fix. You can't just take it to a mechanic down the street. There's not a Tesla dealership on every corner like a Toyota dealership or a Chevy or Ford dealership. So there's a lot of issues with these cars. And again, they're expensive, they're ugly, they're unreliable because you don't know what kind of distance you're going to get when it's very, very cold to when it's very, very hot, when the car needs a repair. It's a very, very inconvenient type of vehicle. And I will close with this last article. FedEx and UPS both see plummeting shipping volume. This, again, not a very good sign for the U.S. economy. Domestic flights were down month over month for FedEx, 9%, down year over year, 14%. Amazon shipments were down, UPS, FedEx. So we're beginning to see, I think, the raise of these interest rates now beginning to have some serious effects on the U.S. economy. We're beginning to see more and more layoffs. The labor pool is tightening up. And when you begin to see FedEx and UPS, their shipment volume collapsing and slowing down like it is, that's another telltale sign that the economy is slowing down. I'm going to leave it there today. Hey, calm down. Please leave a comment down below. Please like, share, subscribe. Have a great day. Make sure to be praying for this country. Walk close to God. And as always, I look forward to speaking with each and every one of you very, very soon. God bless.